Yeah. Yeah.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
What's life like in Rattay?
Life is good here. By God's mercy, the war's passed us by so far. There's nothing but them refugees to disturb the peace. Good luck, then.
How are you, Henry?
I've been to see Sir Radzig.
So how did he take the news?
Well, he wasn't exactly happy about it.
I can well imagine. I wouldn't want the Zulls plundering my estates either. If I had any.
He wants us to carry on patrolling the area. There's nothing else for it.
That makes sense. I don't think he'll come to us. So we'll just have to hope we run into him. I'd like to check out the big forest to the north, and then carry on via Ujits.
Sure.
Mount up then, and let's go.
Please, can we stop for a bit? My arse is aching, and I've such a thirst I could drink a moat dry.
Same here. What do you say, Chief?
Not to worry. We'll re-choose it soon. We'll spend the night there.
I heard they've got a peculiar priest there. They say he drinks like the devil himself.
There's nothing strange about that. Every other man of the cloth is a swill pot.
Or a licher.
Or both.
Quiet. Listen.
For the love of God, help! Please, please, sir, help me.
Don't worry, lass. Nothing to fear. We're with Sir Radzig, in the manner of speaking. What's the matter?
These brigands came. The menfolk fled and left us there. They started pillaging the place, drinking whatever they could find and smashing things. I ran off, but the other girls... You've got to save them. Please, I beg you.
Easy, lass. Drinking, you say?
Aye, sir. They rolled the casks into the courtyard and started swilling like pigs from a trough.
Well, as our old cook used to say, if you want to make a proper goulash, you should soak the meat in ale for a while to soften it first.
Let them get well soaked, and then go and chop them up. Good thinking, Chief.
But what about the girls? Those men, they were...
I'm sure your friends won't be getting nothing they ain't had before.
Well, unless they be nuns.
Kuno, the girl's right. If we delay, her friends will pay the price for it.
I appreciate your advice, Henry. But it's caution that'll keep you alive, not chivalrous deeds.
How do you think Sir Radzig will look if you let that happen? What will people say?
If I cared what people say, I wouldn't be a mercenary. It's no skin off my nose.
Well, I can tell you, Sir Radzig cares, and so do I. So we better ride there right now.
Oh, all right. I hope your Radzig will take care of my funeral mass too. My sin-burdened soul will need a bit of a push to get through the gates of heaven.
Don't worry. They won't be as drunk as you'd like, but they won't be entirely sober either.
True enough. Let's do it then. Right. We better try and save those girls from Hagen's brutes. Let's go!
Who wants their back covered?
My right arm is stiff since last night. Cover that side for me.
It's all in the wrist dangler.
And best to take off your gauntlet first, so as not to do yourself an injury.
Still, it's always good to have your helmet well polished before battle.
Thanks for the invaluable advice, brothers.
I'll watch your right side then, yeah?
Thanks, Jakey.
What's up, brother? Heart in your mouth. It's a sign from God, Petter. A foretaste of what we'll do with the liquid loot we take from the foe.
I wanted to charge them with terrifying roar. Stain the ground.
They'll be
You awesome.
Good work, lads.
Fucking ingratitude. Well, at least the booze didn't run away.
Aye, booze will never let you down.
So grab some tankards and let's get to it. We've a long way to go to finish the job.
Hey, Henry. Fancy throwing some dice?
Up for a game?
Always. I've got some nice little items to wager. What do you...
Well, that depends what you...
I've got shield. The shield's got... Then I've got... And then there's... It'll set...
I like the sound of that.
Oh, after all.
This should be enough, right?
That'll do me.
Sit down and have a drink with us before it's all gone.
Dangler.
Well then,
Dangler.
reckon you can take me on?
I like to do the best out of the whole lot. I mean, you hardly never even talk to me. Still, like, you're like a hero to me. You're like a big brother. Actually, you could even be my real brother. I'll give you a chance to show what you're made of. You could be my brother. Did I call you brother? I'm gonna call you brother. Alright? If them Bama's do that, don't give a damn. I'll give you a chance to show what you're right made of. Brother, let them think what they like. Right, brother? You like it too, don't you? Yeah. First. Let me massage my knuckles a bit with your face. We'll just have a friendly bout. No blood, I promise. Or at least not much. So I don't have to start making insults about your kin.
Henry, come here. We don't fight.
Did I tell you about how St. Clair appeared to me? There was that time in Bully, or White Sheep. She's rolling in the I wanted to ask her what kind of bread she baked. I figured maybe she liked sweet bread, seeing as how she didn't eat meat. But who knows? I always liked black. Come and have a bit of a when I went to execution, I always took a roll. other charlatan came to town and settled on the other side of the river. He said he could read minds too. And I was thinking, if them two met up and started reading each other's thoughts, then actually they'd be reading their own thoughts.
Come and fight nicely,
See,
so I don't have to start making
other
insults
fella
about your kid.
would be thinking he'd be
Some colour in your cheeks.
You want to have a scrap with me?
Scrap! You've nothing.
All right.
You're a man up.
Well,
You're very.
You were right, Heidi. I never thought you had it in him.
Come and have a laugh with us. You're too serious.
Dangler. Dangly. Dangler. I like you the best out of the whole lot. I mean it. You...
They left us some damn good booze here. And as my old man used to say, the fire of battle must be quenched. Of course, the only battle he was ever in was with Ma. But still, it fits. Anyway, I hope you'll drink with us.
sure. Why look a gift horse in the mouth?
My words exactly. Me and the lads were just saying how we know nothing about you. Most of the folk around here have hardly been further than the village market. But you must have seen a thing or two.
That I have. I suppose you heard about the raising of Skallets.
Aye, I heard. And Radzig told me you're from there. But that's probably not the kind of story to go with wine and good cheer.
Have you heard of Sir Hans Capon?
I heard his name mentioned in Colleen, in connection with some wench, as I recall. A young dandy, eh?
Yeah, that's him. He's going to inherit Rattay once he comes of age. I run some errands for him now and again. Well, once we were at the baths together, and his lordship wanted to seduce one of the bath maids.
Naturally, that's what the baths are for, among other things.
Yeah, but with Sir Hans, nothing is ever straightforward. First, I had to play strip dice.
That's good. Did you win?
I did, but I had to strip myself anyway to get into the tub. Only no sooner had I done so than his lordship demanded wine from the castle cellars, which is a long fucking way from there.
I reckon you're a man who can't resist a challenge.
If I'd been sober. I went all the way there and back in my undergarments, and no sooner was I back than he sent me to pick flowers for the girl from the castle gardens.
It's starting to sound like a fairy tale with 3 wishes.
Well, actually, he probably did have a third wish, but he didn't get a chance to say it.
How's that?
Well, I got back only to find the girl's sweetheart, some guard called Arsenballs, well, that's what Sir Hans called him, trying to drown him in the bath.
Drown a nobleman over a wench. That's balls, all right.
Well, Sir Hans was naked and drunk, so he didn't look very noble. Anyway, I tackled this fella and saved Sir Hans from him. It could have all got out of hand, but it ended with only a few bruises. Sir Hans never got his way with the girl, though.
All that trouble for nothing. Tell us another.
Do you know Talmberg?
I do. It's that castle on the hill, not far from here.
That's right. Sir Divish is the lord there. You might have heard he was locked up in his own castle for 7 years by another lord he had some dispute with.
I remember hearing something about that. How did he get out?
His wife, Lady Stephanie, managed to get justice for him in the end, with the help of the provincial council.
Right. But I thought you were going to tell us something about yourself, Henry.
I'm getting there. It's to do with the young Lady Stephanie. She took a liking to me and asked me to help her get some things for her cousin's wedding, which I did. And she was very, very grateful.
So the lady was nice to you. That's a charming story. Not exactly bard material.
No, you don't get it, Kuno. She was very grateful.
What are you... No. Never. You and the lady of the castle.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise for me, too.
Are you mad? Did it cross your mind what her husband could do?
No, I suppose. But I was caught up in the moment.
Jesus, Henry. Let me give you a word of advice. We're not from here, so it doesn't matter much. But I wouldn't go telling that story around these parts.
Of course not, don't worry.
Tell us another.
Once I met a very peculiar character in Sasau. He was selling amulets, relics, and all sorts of supposedly miraculous junk.
Charlotte! You want to watch out for fellas like that.
Indeed. But this charlatan took me on as an apprentice.
The sorcerer's apprentice? You're having me on, right?
No, it wasn't like that. He just wanted me to, acquire some things for him. Nothing too difficult, so I did it.
What kind of things?
Like a tooth from St. Procopius, for instance?
What? Relics like that don't exactly grow on trees.
Oh, of course. So instead, we settled for a tooth from some labourer called Procopius.
So this fella was walking around with a mouthful of relics. How did it end up?
Well, in the end, the charlatan was driven out of town by an irate mob. I was lucky they didn't lynch me instead.
Nobody likes a swindler, that's for sure. A nice story, but let's just drink.